Well, you guys seem like you made Paul grow into another player. You know, when he was here and I saw him play all these years, playing with even Antoine, yeah, Paul kind of took it another way. But when you got there and and Kevin was there, it's like he transitioned to the captain and to a whole nother player.
Well, he certainly paid attention. I think that, for Paul, most of his career, he had been with a lot of younger players, and it was almost like Seabiscuit mentality, where once he saw like me come in, Paul would always talk trash about things that I was doing, but then you would always see he would gradually start doing them. He'd always talk trash about what I was eating, why I'm eating that, or how come I'm in the training room, I would start on one table and I'd end up on the other table. He's like, damn, you gonna touch every table? I was like, this is what it takes to exist for, like you got to take care of yourself. And I think for most of his career, he was around younger players that didn't give him the ability to see what it is to be successful. So he was the one that was setting the tone every night, night in, night out. Once we got there, for him, it was easy because he felt like there are times where, he could cruise. But then when Paul and I or Kevin and I got there, you couldn't. This is what we did every single day. It wasn't like, Tuesday we could take off or Thursday we take off. It was an everyday thing, and we were just relieved because we knew we didn't want to win. And so when we got there, you can tell he certainly saw the example set. And then we still had young players at the end of the roster. Rondo was trying to find his own, and then we had Big Baby, who was trying to learn to have an impact on the NBA. Perk was trying to come into his own, and, so a lot of those guys were taking cues from the example that we set. I think the difference once I went to Miami, the difference was there was only one person really that was trying to make a name for himself. And you could throw Norris Cole in there coming off the bench. But Mario Chalmers was the one guy who was in the rotation that was young, but he was still a guy that had to follow so many other guys because, this locker room that I was in it had veterans from top to bottom. You're talking about, Juwan Howard, at the time he had, I think, 18 years in the NBA. And then you got guys like James Jones and Shane Battier and Mike Miller and Birdman and Rashard Lewis. You got guys that have played, great basketball on other teams for a long time. So you can go in any direction when it comes to, who you're going to play. So, oftentimes I know it had to be difficult for Spoelstra because you got so many great shooters that you can put in the game, and you had to kind of deal with those egos. But, for the most part, a lot of guys, they were professional and everybody wanted to win.